Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay and we are here to answer the question, which one is better, Arteza versus Colorit? Let's get into it. Okay, here on our channel recently we've been doing a lot of coloring with these beautiful watercolor brush pens. They are unique because they have actual bristles, and we've been coloring with Colorits, we've been coloring with Colorits and Jane Davenport brush pens, and it's been lots of fun. But you have requested that I bring in the beautiful Arteza brush pens, so that's what I've done, and now we get to do some testing with these to see if they stand up to my current favorites, which are the Colorit. Now, it's kind of a tie between Colorit and Jane Davenport pens, and I'm going to explain why I like the Jane Davenports a little bit more than the Colorits, but why I'm advising you to purchase right now the Colorits. But will the Artezas win out? Let's find out. Okay, so what we're going to do to start out is to do some swatching, and it's one of my most favorite thing to do is swatch some new tools to see how they perform. Now, we've already swatched the Colorit here on this beautiful swatch chart. If you're interested in swatch charts like this, we have them available at coloringbliss.com, so come check it out. We also have swatched the Colorit and the Jane Davenport, so we can compare all of them once we have our beautiful Arteza pens swatched. This is the package they came in. They come in 12, 24, 40, and 96 sets. That's right, they come in 96 different colors, and that is very unique for almost any of the brands that I have looked at on Amazon so far. 96 different colors you can get. That's pretty amazing. Now, all I brought in was the 12 so that we can, compare how the different pens perform side by side. So kind of wish I had the 96, but I just got the 12. All right, so let's see what they came with. The package isn't anything special. It's not like packaging that's going to help store them. It's kind of cheap plastic. Oh, but it did come with a water brush pen, so I'll probably send my handy assistant Steve to go fill this up for me so we can use it and see how good of a water brush pen this is. Steve, would you help me with that, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, while he's filling up that brush pen, let's take a peek inside here and look at the 12 colors they came with and see what these pens look like. I'm just going to grab one randomly here and we can look at them together. This is the Arteza brush pen, and first off, how great is this? It's got the color name right there. Let me see if I can focus. There we go. So it has a color name. Let's see if the cap stacks on the other end. It does. That's fantastic. You guys know that I like that about a tool. So that's good. Okay, now I also noticed that it looks like the bristles are longer. So let's compare that to a Colorit. This is the Colorit brand that I have. And so you can't stack that cap. The bristles are definitely longer than the Colorit. And let's compare it to the brand that we are here to compare today, and that's the Colorit. Colorit comes in this really nice canvas case, which is fantastic. This is what the Colorit pens look like, and let me just grab one randomly here and I'll show you what they look like. They have their name printed right here, and the cap does stack, which is fantastic, and here is a comparison. Look how much longer the Arteza is compared to the Colorit, and you can see how long the bristles are comparatively. So that's interesting. I'm excited to actually do some coloring and applying with the bristles and the brush tip and see if I feel a difference. Do I prefer one over the other? Let's find out.
And where the Artezas have a longer body, I wonder if they have more ink in them.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to do, a full ink, run it dry kind of test to find that out. But I don't know. That's a good question.
It doesn't say on the body?
No, they never say how much ink is in these things. I wish they did, but they don't. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move this Colorit marker to the side so I don't accidentally swatch it. And here is the watercolor brush pen that it came with. The water brush pen is what it's called. If you've never seen these before, basically it's an empty brush pen and you get to fill it up with just clean water. Has a valve right here that controls the flow of water to some nylon bristles right here at this end. And it allows for portable watercoloring, and it's really nice. They're great. They have some downfalls. You can't really control the amount of water that comes out. So sometimes they don't work exactly the way you want them to, but for portability and ease of use, they're fantastic. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is swatch out all 12 colors, and I am going to use the water brush pen that it came with to dilute some of the color and see how it looks as it gets washed out as well. I am using watercolor paper for this swatching because I find that the watercolor paint inside these pens works much better on watercolor paper. So I'll put a link to this paper in the video description if you are curious about that. Okay, let's hit fast forward and you can watch the beautiful colors appear on the paper. Okay, I've used my heat gun and got it dry so that we could take a good look at how these colors went down. And there's a couple surprises here. First of all, the lighter colors like this wisteria purple and this smoke gray. When I tried to pull the color down with my water brush, to see what it looked like as it was diluted with water, they didn't really pull down. They just sort of refused to move, and the smoke gray even did something kind of strange. Let me bring it up. It kind of separated, the tones separated. The same thing happened here. It almost didn't pull down. It sort of just went to a different color altogether. In this noir color, the black, it kind of turned a purpley blue color. So that's a little surprising, and don't quite know how to explain what happened there other than what's going on is there are different tones inside that, different pigments that make up the smoke gray, and as we hit them with water, they're separating out, and that's what we're seeing here as the water is interacting with the pigment. That's what I'm guessing is going on here. So we can see that as the water hits it. That's one reason why I do the watering down of the pigment, just to see what happens. It also brings out undertones, so you can see what's going on with the colors. So you can see like the seaweed green, what the undertone of that color is. Same with the red. When you bring out the water into the red, you can see what kind of undertone it has. Will it mix well with the pink? Those are the kinds of things you can see as you start to mix the water in. So it answers a lot of questions for me, and that's why I do this kind of testing. Overall, the colors seem really bright, except for maybe the wisteria purple and the smoke gray. But the gray, I'm happy that it included a gray because I use gray a lot in my coloring. And I'm happy about having a purple, although it's kind of a lackluster purple. But it's a nice purple, and I'm glad we have two different blues, and they are very different blues, very distinct blues. That's really nice. Some of the other sets I have, like the Castle Art, for instance, some of the blues that I was given seem very close in tone, and so it's nice that because I only have 12 brush pens in this Arteza set, I feel like every single color I was given are very distinct, very different, and they have a place in this set. The only thing I feel like we're missing in this set is a nice like beigey tan type color. We only have one in a brown type color. We have a chocolate. So we don't really have a tan type color for doing like a skin tone or mixing with the chocolate for a light and a dark type of a blend. So that's the only thing I feel like we're missing in this 12 set of Arteza. But it is just a 12 set, so they have to leave something out, right? So yeah, other than the missing of a tan color, I feel like this 12 set of Arteza is really excellent. So let's talk a little bit about price comparison between the Colorit and the Artezas, because that's really important. If you had all the money in the world, I would steer you towards the Jane Davenport Mermaid markers. That's these beauties right here. Let me show them to you really quick. The difference of the Jane Davenport Mermaid markers is they are built almost identical to a water brush pen. It has a large area that's filled with ink, a valve in between, and a really long, nice bristle end to work with. And these colors inside the Jane Davenport Mermaid markers are strong and very impressive. Let me show you the swatches for the Jane Davenports. That's them right here. They also have some glittery type inks that you can get into. They're just beautiful, stunning inks, really fun to play with, and they flow amazing out of these. You can squeeze a little bit if you want a little extra ink to come out. Lots of fun to play with. But they are very, very pricey. Just one little set of 12 of these costs $28. That's probably the most cost-effective way to buy it, is in the set of 12. There are some that have a set of 4 that are as expensive as $15. So these are really expensive little tools. That's why we are talking today about the Colorit versus Arteza, because this gets into a much more cost-effective place. This set of 24 Colorit watercolor brush pens that come in the beautiful little canvas sleeve like this. So it's very portable, very compact, really nice little set, is only $25. That's about $1.04 per watercolor brush pen. That's pretty cool. Another neat thing about the Colorit pens is that they are refillable. So on the back end of these pens, there is a opening right here that screws open, and you can refill it with more ink. And they have refill inks available. You can buy them per bottle, and the bottles are $6 each, or they have a set where you can buy all 24 bottles for $90, which comes in at just $3.75 per bottle, which brings the price way down. Now, according to Colorit's website, you can refill this pen 15 times with every single little refill bottle. So we did the math, and that comes into 25 cents per refill when you buy the full set of refills, not the per bottle refill. We'll put a little math up on the screen right now so you can follow along a little better. But that makes these very cost effective, and they would last a long time, I believe, because the bristles on these are nylon. And so I think they're going to be very durable and last a long time, unlike a felt tip. I think these nylon bristles are going to last a long time. So that's the price breakdown of the Colorit pens. Now when we look at the Arteza pens that we are swatching right now, you can purchase them in sets of 12 like I did right here, and it comes with the empty water brush. This set right here is only $11. $7. That's 92 cents per pen. So per pen cost, it's less than the Colorit, but you don't get the canvas case, and these are not refillable, but they are available that you can purchase individual pens, sort of. Now, Arteza makes it so that you can purchase, let's say you run out of light green and you want to buy just light green, you can buy a pack of 4 light green pens, but it costs $8 for that pack of 4 light green pens. So that's $2 a pen to purchase just this one color to replace that color. Now, that's pretty cool, though, that you can buy them open stock and replace just the one pen, so you don't have to buy the entire set again. So that is available and open to you, but it is pretty pricey to buy them open stock. So with Arteza, you can buy them in sets of 12, 24, 48, or 96, like I said at the opening of this video. 96 colors they come in. Now, as a colorist, that number really excites me, and it comes in this big, beautiful kit. I'm going to put a picture up right now so you can see what that 96 set looks like. The 96 set is only $70, and that comes in at just 73 cents per watercolor brush pen, which I think is a really good bargain for this type of coloring tool. So we have swatched them. We've talked about prices. Both seem like a really good bargain. Just kind of depends on which direction you want to go. Do you want something that's refillable with a nice little canvas case? Or are you looking for maybe more colors because color only has 24? Maybe you want to try the 48 set or go for the full thing with all 96 colors. Comment below which one is more exciting to you. I would like to know from you which excites you more. So now swatching with these colors is one thing, but now I want to put it to some real tests here. How do the colors blend? How do they interact when we actually use them in a coloring situation? So I have printed off right here a coloring page that I'm going to test these pens side by side on right now. Let me clean up a bit and let's get started. Okay, let's start out with the Colorit. I've grabbed 2 colors, the Regal Red and the Witty Raspberry. These should blend well together, and then we can do a comparable blend with the red and the neon pink over here with the Artezas. So I've got Regal Red and Witty Raspberry right here with the Colorit pens. And let's try doing a couple petals of these flowers and just blend them straight onto the paper. Nothing fancy, no water brush pens, just the 2 pens, and see how they go. And we are on watercolor paper, so this gives these pens the best advantage possible for smooth lay down and ease of blending. Let's go ahead and add a yellow at the end. So I'm going to grab Daydream Yellow out of the wallet and blend a yellow into the end here. Should give us a nice peachy color. Now, what I'm watching for is how does the brush tips flow, and do the colors blend well? Very good. Okay, let's try the same color combination one more time right here, and then we will bring up the Colorits. We'll bring up the Artezas and try to recreate it and see if it has a different result. Okay, I think that looks really pretty, almost like sunset type colors. Really pretty. Okay, now we're going to grab red, neon pink, and lemon yellow. And we're going to try to recreate the same look on these two petals. Now we know the colors aren't going to be an exact match, but we want to see how the blend works and all that good stuff. Those longer bristles definitely feel different. Okay, let's go again and see how we get along on the next petal. Okay, there we have the two petals done with Colorit and two done with Arteza. Now I'd like those to dry a little bit. So I'm going to use my heat gun and speed up the drying process. I think they both performed really well. At first I felt like the Arteza wasn't blending very well, but as it's drying down, I think the edges of the two blends look really nice. So I think both have blended really well. They look really nice. Let's try two different color combinations now just to see if other tones have just as good of a blend. So let's go with Arteza's. Let's blend a light green. Let's do the greens. Seaweed green, light green to lemon yellow. And we'll do a similar type blend over here. Let's see if I can get something similar. Grounded green. For the bright green, and the closest thing I have to this seaweed green is probably the dashing dark green. Use that same yellow right there. Okay, and we have two leaves out here, so we'll do the Colorit leaf here and the Arteza leaf here. Okay, so we just finished up coloring with the Colorit side of the watercolor brush pens, and hands down these ones blended easier and stayed more fluid and kept blending much better than the Arteza ones. I had to really work and force these Arteza colors to come together. In fact, you can see these are still moving and blending, so these are staying wet longer. That's interesting. So I wonder if it has to do with which color. Maybe different colors blend and stay wet longer. Okay, so I would also like to try them out as like lettering type purposes, not just coloring. So I'm going to bring up some really smooth paper. This is super smooth, no texture, very smooth, nice cardstock. And let's see how they perform on here. So I'm going to bring up our dark greens from both sets. This is the dashing dark green and the seaweed green from both sets. All right. Now, I am not very practiced with doing lettering with real brush tips, so don't mind my messy lettering. But what I did discover right away is that the longer bristles of the Arteza Real Brush Pen makes it a lot more difficult to control the flow of your lettering. So that's interesting. I kind of thought it might make it easier, but I am finding it much more difficult to control. This is much more springy and easier to get the letters to do what I wanted them to do. You can get a beautiful thin line with your brush with the Artezas, and then that nice thick line on the side. Same with the Bliss, with the Colorit, you can get a really nice thin line and a thick line. So I think I prefer, I think I'm preferring the flow and the feel of the Colorit brush tip. So far, I think I'm still feeling like the Colorit is the winner as far as the construction of their brush pens. All right, so what is my final opinion between the Colorit and the Arteza watercolor brush pens? Well, I think they're both amazing, but the pens themselves, I think I prefer the pen of the Colorit brand over the Arteza. I like the springiness of those nylon bristles, and I like the fact that you can refill those Colorit pens and keep using them over and over. Now, I really do like, however, the fact that you can get 96 different colors in the Arteza line. Maybe someday Colorit will make a new line of additional colors. That would be fantastic. But for now, I think you have two main choices between these two products. Do you want a nice compact little wallet that fits really nicely together with just 24 colors and the potential to purchase additional bottles of refills if you ever want that down the line? Or would you like to invest in a set where you can get up to 96 colors of some really good pens, and then someday if you ever have to replace a pen, it's going to be a little bit pricey, and yeah, it's kind of up to you what you really want. Both ways are going to be great, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun coloring with these tools, although they are a little bit tricky because they are watercolor, so keep that in mind. What am I going to do? Well, I have been accumulating a lot of these water brush pens. I get them in a lot of these different sets, and I've got a lot of them now, and I'd like to attempt to make my own watercolor brush pens. I have a collection of different kinds of inks, and I'd like to see if I can create my own watercolor brush pens. If that's something that sounds like fun to you and you'd like to join me on that journey of DIYing my own watercolor brush pens, please comment below and tell me you'd like to see me do that. Make sure you hit a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on me attempting to make my very own watercolor brush pens. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy your coloring tools. Have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everybody.